Welcome to the real Black Rabbit. I bet you didn't know the full story behind Thomas Crook. I'm sure you've heard the news. Thomas Crook, a name etched in infamy, forever linked to a national tragedy. But who was he? What dark path led him to this moment? Crook's story is one of shadows and secrets, a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers beneath the surface of a society. His rise to notoriety is a tale of missed signals and systemic failures, a story that demands our attention. It is a story that must be told. Crook's early life remains shrouded in mystery. Details are scarce, obscured by conflicting accounts and a lack of public record. What we do know paints a disturbing picture. Sources suggest a troubled past, marked by instability and isolation. Was he a lone wolf, driven by personal demons? Or was there something more, a darker force at play? These are the questions that haunt us. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets behind Thomas Crook's life and the scandal that shocked the nation. The scandal involved breaches in security protocols and raised questions about the integrity of the Secret Service. Experts have pointed to systemic issues within the agency, highlighting the need for reform and accountability. Even in the shadows, there are often glimpses of the darkness to come. Were there signs, warnings of Crook's descent into extremism? The answer, it appears, is a resounding yes. Reports suggest a pattern of disturbing behavior, a trail of red flags ignored or dismissed. Online activity rife with hate speech and threats of violence, troubling interactions with individuals known to law enforcement. Yet despite these warning signs, Crook remained undetected. A clear failure of intelligence gathering or deliberate suppression of information. The truth remains elusive. What is clear is that the system designed to protect us failed. It failed to connect the dots, to recognize the growing threat, and the consequences, as we now know, were devastating. The question that haunts us: did those in power know more than they let on? Whispers of a cover-up, of a deliberate attempt to downplay Crook's threat, have plagued the investigation since day one. Was Crook, as some allege, an informant manipulated by shadowy figures within the government? The allegations are shocking, but not entirely implausible. A climate of fear and distrust has permeated our nation's capital. The lines between truth and fiction have blurred, eroded by partisan politics and a relentless thirst for power. In this environment, anything seems possible. Adding another layer to this complex narrative is the alleged involvement of the Secret Service. This is where things get interesting. Indeed, the connections run deep. Let's delve deeper into this. Reports of clandestine meetings, of backroom deals struck in the dead of night. Was Crook, as some believe, an asset cultivated to infiltrate extremist groups? Or did the agency, tasked with protecting our nation's leaders, fail to recognize the threat he posed? The possibility is unthinkable. Yet the evidence suggests a systemic breakdown, a failure of epic proportions. The Secret Service, once a symbol of unwavering strength, now finds itself mired in controversy, its reputation hanging in the balance. Section 5. Ticking time. Bomb missed opportunities for intervention. The tragedy that unfolded was not inevitable. It was the culmination of a series of missed opportunities, of critical failures to act. Intelligence gathered but not acted upon. Warnings issued but ignored. A system seemingly designed to fail. There were several red flags, yet no action was taken. The consequences were dire. Had those in power heeded the warnings, had they acted decisively to neutralize the threat, countless lives could have been saved. Section 6. The unthinkable occurs. A nation rocked by tragedy. The impact was felt nationwide. People demanded answers. The nation mourned together. The day our nation changed forever. The details are etched in our collective memory. The sights, the sounds, the raw terror. A nation united in grief. grappling with the unimaginable. The shockwaves of that fateful day continue to reverberate. The scars, both visible and invisible, run deep. We are a nation wounded, grappling with a loss of innocence, struggling to make sense of the senseless. Section 7. The reckoning begins. Demands for answers and accountability. In the aftermath of tragedy, the cries for justice echo. The American people demand answers. They deserve to know how this could have happened. Who is responsible? A full and transparent investigation is not an option. It is an imperative. Those responsible, from the highest levels of government to those tasked with protecting us, must be held accountable. This is not about retribution, but about ensuring that such a tragedy never happens again. Section 8. Unmasking the truth. The quest for transparency and justice. The road to justice will be long and arduous. The truth elusive and often obscured by those who seek to protect themselves and their interests. But we must not waver. We must demand transparency, accountability, and a commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. The pursuit of justice is not a spectator sport. It requires the active participation of every citizen. We must hold our elected officials accountable, demand answers from those in power, and never allow ourselves to forget the human cost of inaction and deceit. Together, we can make a difference. Section 9. Safeguarding the future. A call for systemic change. The tragedy that befell our nation is a stark reminder of our own vulnerability. It has exposed the cracks in our system, the vulnerabilities that threaten the very fabric of our society. We can choose to ignore these warning signs, to allow ourselves to be lulled back into a false sense of security. Or we can act. We must demand better. We must demand systemic change. This is not a partisan issue, but a matter of national security. It is about safeguarding our future, protecting our children from the scourge of extremism and violence. It is about reclaiming our narrative, rebuilding our institutions, and restoring faith in our democracy. The time for action is now. Let us honor the memories of those we have lost by building a safer, more just, and more equitable society for all.
If you want to stay updated on the Thomas Crook scandal and more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching.